Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. Friends, in today's session, we are going to start on with the new chapter, which is chapter number 15, Some Natural Phenomena. We are going to start on this lessons, which is including some of the natural phenomena. In that, the very first one, which we are going to discuss, and the concepts with which we are going to discuss today is regarding the lightning. Lightning, earthquake, tsunami, all these things are the natural phenomena which are creating lots of destructions. Yes, these are the phenomena, natural phenomena, which are creating some or other kind of problems for us. You are like already knowing about the great uh, natural disasters. You are evident of lightning that has occurred this year a lot. The nature is fury, Then earthquake. The earthquake again uh, when it came in 2000, it had destructed the whole of the Kutch portion of the Gujarat, and a major problem had occurred in the Gujarat regarding during this 26 January's Republic Day's earthquake that occurred in the year 2000. Coming to the cyclone, just a year or a back, the problems that were faced by our country mates in the Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka because of again the cyclones. So cyclones, tsunamis, totally everything got wiped up, and yet um, a new startup. So all that are occurring, and there are some reasons why they are occurring. So this lesson is some of the natural phenomena. Yes, these are like very heartbreaking sometimes because many of the lives are, demolished, and like monuments you talk about, or many other things. So we are going to start on with that content today. The content that we are going to start right now today is some natural phenomena. In that, the very first topic is lightning. But before we study lightning, we need to understand what is static electricity. Yes, whole of the lightning concept is playing a major role. Benjamin Franklin, how he gave the concept of electricity. Why is he called as the father of electricity? That we will study in the later portion of the chapter. But before that, let us first study about the static electricity. We are doing chapter number 15, which is natural phenomena. If we talk about static electricity, then about 2500 years ago, uh, in a in a village, Thales found the piece of amber, and when it is rubbed with fur, it attracted the pieces of feathers, the leaves, and some of the materials like plastic, glass. They also show the similar effect. They have given one very small activity, that is take a comb and just rub it on your sleeves or on your dry hair and make some small, tiny pieces of to attract those pieces of paper with the scale. Very simple thing which you might have done in your lower standards. Uh, Very easy, okay? Very easy. and you might have done it in your lower standards. That is, take the pieces of small papers and rub the scale or the comb with your sleeve or your dry. To attract it, you will see that the paper gets attracted towards it. Why is it happening? It is happening because of static electricity. Yes, this is one of the electricity which is one of the form in which the electricity is playing a major role. Another example that is given is uh, blow a balloon, inflate a balloon, and uh, just allow it to rub it again and try to stick it with the wall. Yes, it will get sticked up. This is happening because uh, of static electricity. Again, whenever you're removing or wearing any nylon or acrylic clothes at that time also, you see some of you hear some of the crackling sound. Even in the winter nights when you're wearing the woolen clothes at night, uh, the woolen blanket at that time also, sometimes you might be seeing the tiny sparks. So what does all these things? All this because of the some of the charge which is residing on the body and which cannot flow, and that is called as static electricity. It was Benjamin Franklin who showed that the lightning and the spark from the nylon, these are essentially the same phenomena, and that is all about the electric charge. Okay, this concept of electric charge is not given in your book, but static electricity or any electricity charge is very important to define. But the fact is, charge is an undefined term. It is a property of matter which is difficult to define. It is a property of matter that is difficult to define. So if we talk about the charge, then it is the fundamental property of matter which is very difficult for us to define. And we are going to move further in this concept. But before we move further, some of the very important things regarding the charge, I will make you note. This our charge is denoted by Q and its SI unit is coulomb, denoted by C. Okay, so these are some of the very important points, and it is of two types, either positive or negative. Two types of charges are existing. Okay, so that is about some of the basic information regarding the charge. For storing static electricity, Leyden jar is used, and all the details about the Leyden jar will be given in the next content that we are going to do. How can we like store it and how the charges are transferred. So for that we'll do, but before that you need to note down this content. So the content is over here on the board. Please note it down. Then we'll move further. Do not forget about the Leyden jar that is used for storing electricity. We'll mention it. Okay, so you can note down this. Then we'll move further on charging by rubbing. I hope, friends, you have noted the content. Now, let us move further on our next topic, which is charging by rubbing. Method by which any substance can be charged by using friction. Yes, so only this method is also called as charging by friction. What is this technique? Charging by rubbing and friction. There are some of the substances, except the metallic ones, which when charged, they are developing some amount of charge on them. Yes, let us understand with the help of an activity. For that, we need some of the substances like balloon, polythene strip, steel rod, then ebonite rod and glass rod. Silk cloth and fur. These are the things which we need. Okay, now what we have to do? One by one, take up all the pieces and rub them with either ebonite, woolen cloth, silk cloth, or fur, and then observe that whether it is acting any substance or not. Okay, so you have to repeat all these things by one taking all these things. So, what you have to do? Procedure. Take the balloon, inflate it, rub it with woolen cloth. Once you rub it with woolen cloth, what you have to do it? Bring some pieces of paper near the balloon. Record your observation and repeat the similar activity with above given materials. What we have to do is, by one we will be taking all the things: balloon, polythene strip, steel rod, ebonite rod, glass rod, and we'll rub them with different substances. We'll see whether the pieces of the paper are getting attracted by it or. Before we record observations, or we note down their observations. Just please quickly note down this, then we'll move further. Be quick. I hope you have noted the procedure. Now, the observation. We have to take these materials one by one. So, first, object, then rubbed by the material, then after that, effect on paper, after that, the last part is whether it is or charged. If we talk about the balloon that we saw first, the five things which we are going to see: balloon, polythene strip, after polythene strip, it's steel rod, so this is about the observation table. Balloon, it is rubbed by a woolen cloth. Paper will get attracted That means it is a charged one. If we talk about polythene strip, if rubbed with woolen cloth, it will attract pieces of paper will get attracted. That means again it is charged. If we talk about glass rod rubbed with silk, again pieces of paper will get attracted, and yes, it is charged. Coming to the next part, ebonite rod. If rubbed by fur, it will get attracted. That means it is charged. Last part over here, the steel rod will not get attracted, will not be able to attract the paper when it is rubbed with fur, because it is that is because metals can be charged by rubbing. This is very important key point. Metals cannot be charged by rubbing. Any of the non-metallic thing can be attracted. Okay, so here are some of the things we discussed in the activity. Which are the things? Balloon, polythene strip, steel rod, ebonite rod, glass rod. The balloon and polythene strip, when rubbed with the woolen cloth, they attract the piece of paper which depicts that they are charged bodies. Coming to the glass rod, when it is covered with silk, it will attract the pieces of paper which shows that again it is a charged body. Steel, ebonite rod, when with fur, it will also attract the pieces of paper which shows that it is a charged body. Steel, when it is rubbed with fur, it will not be charged by rubbing. Okay, if not visible here, you can note down this. And the same is the conclusion. Objects made from rubber, polythene, glass, and ebonite can be charged by rubbing. Metals cannot be charged by rubbing. Please note down this, then we'll move further regarding the types of charges and their interaction. Please note it down. I hope you have noted down this content. So now coming to the next, that is types of charges. Charges, as we discussed charges are of two types. It was Benjamin Franklin who found out that charges are of two types, which is positive and negative. Coming to the next part. If it about the representation, then positive charges are represented by plus sign, while negative charge is represented by minus sign. Coming to the next part. Whenever glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, it will develop positive charge on it. Remember this thing. We are talking about two things, glass rod and ebony rod. Glass rod, when it is rubbed with silk cloth, then on it positive charge develops. We talk about the ebonite rod, then when rubbed with wool or fur, then negative charge develops on it. Okay, so these are the charges types. Again, charges are of how many types? Two types, which are those positive and negative. And how can this charges come into existence? Whenever anything, any substance, if it is non-metallic, then it is rubbed, then charge is getting developed on it. Suppose glass rod, it is rubbed with silk cloth, then which charge will get developed on it? Positive. And when it is rubbed with woolen cloth, which charge will develop? Negative. This will perform the next activity, which is very simple and very easy. Please note the content. Be quick. Now, the next activity is to show that like charges repel each other and like charges attract each other. Yes, this is somewhat something similar to what you have done in your lower standards in magnets. That is north repel each other and north attract each other. Similar things will be observed over here. North and north in the same way. Positive charges will repel and negative charges will positive and negative will attract each other. That is the next experiment. The aim of this activity is to show that positive like charges repel each other, like charges unlike charges. What are the materials needed? For that, we need two glass rods, two ebonite rods, silk cloth, and fur or woolen cloth. Procedure: rub the glass rods with silk. Once they will be rubbed with silk, which charge will get developed on them? Positive charge will get developed on them. Bring both the rods near each other. Next, rub the ebonite rods with woolen cloth. So what will happen? Negative charge will develop on them. Now bring both the rods near each other. That is ebonite rod. And record your observation. Similarly, bring glass rod and ebonite rod near each other and record your observation. Okay, this is we have to do? Just rub the glass rod with the sand, bring them near. Rub both the ebonite rod with woolen cloth, bring them near each other, and then bring the glass rod and the ebonite rod near each other, and then just simply repeat the observation. Please note down the observation, aim, materials needed, and procedure. Note down these three things, then we'll record the observation and the conclusion. Please be quick. I hope you have written it down. This is what we have done. This is glass rod. This is another glass rod. This is next. Where we are having the negative. positively charged, while when ebonite rod, which is negatively charged, is brought near it. This is figure B. A, B, and C. What do we observe? We observe that glass and glass rod or ebonite rod and ebonite rod repel each other, while glass rod and ebonite rod attract each other. What can we conclude now from this? We can conclude that like charges repel each other, while unlike charges attract each other. Okay? Now, note down this content. Okay, quickly. So I hope you have noted down this content. Okay, and that is all for today's content. I hope you are clear with the content that has been taught to you. We have started with chapter number 15, and studied about charging by rubbing. We studied up first about what is a charge, how is the charge stored, charging by rubbing, and the next one was the interaction between the positive and the negative charges. And that's all for today's content. In our next particular session, we'll see about how the lightning was responsible for creating the whole electricity, the whole concept, how it came into existence, and how can charge be transferred. So that's all for today's content. Thank you so much, my dear students, for listening to me. And I hope that you have understood all the content that has been done today in this lesson, which is some natural phenomena. That's all. Have a very good day. Bye bye.